Welcome to the MANNA Method. I'm Franco Manna. What are you still carrying? The weight of what we never let go. I remember growing up in the 60s, how I always looked at how other people acted and why they did the things they did. I always thought their way must be better than my own way. We need to be aware of our environments every day. The environments and people we are around is what shapes our future. It is very easy to take on other people's energy and personality traits as well. I know it did for me. I started doing things and acting in ways that other people did. Not that it's 100% wrong, but it was taking away the person I was meant to be. If you grew up with people that are cheap or unhappy, you start to take on some of that energy and start acting on it. I remember growing up, my mother always had many fears and phobias that controlled her life. Water was one of them. One day in grade 7, my teacher told me and the whole class to bring an extra pair of jeans, an extra pair of t-shirt, and an extra pair of running shoes to class the next day. The next day, the class boarded a bus and went to the nearest swimming pool. I was about 14 years old and never was allowed to learn how to swim until then. That phobia was a big wall to overcome. As we all were waiting for the teacher's instructions, we all stood standing around the pool with our extra jeans, t-shirts, and running shoes on. Then the teacher said, "Okay, class, jump in and start treading water." I was terrified and scared at the same time. Everyone jumped in but me. Within minutes, my teacher pushed me into the pool when I wasn't looking. I started to drown. A couple minutes later, someone came in to get me. Ask yourself, are you carrying something that no longer belongs in your life? From that day forward till the age of 64 years old, I also carried that phobia that my mother passed on to me. The metaphor I've been using in the past few years is the wet, heavy jeans. My jeans felt like they were 200 pounds. That morning, today I am 67 years old. I can swim, but still unable to tread water. But that's okay. Sometimes the heaviest thing we carry is what we refuse to release. Transformation only begins when you stop allowing your past to write every new chapter forward. What happened to you doesn't mean it's you. The limiting beliefs that were passed down to you can be changed. Recognizing where a belief came from and still choose a new one to replace it. What belief did you inherit that you no longer believe in? Your past may have shaped you, but your choices can still transform you. The invisible baggage we all carry through life. Fear, anger, shame, regret. The past is the past. I finally shedded and peeled the layers off myself over the years. Guilt can convince us that we don't deserve a better life. Anger can become a burden when we carry it for many years. Shame tells us we are broken rather than reminding us that we can change at any time. Regret that we made too many bad decisions will keep us depressed, small, and trapped. The fear, the guilt, and the shame will be part of your identity if we allow it to. One day, that rocking chair will be there for us to sit in. What is the story you would like to tell yourself while sitting in that rocking chair? Change your story now, and you may begin to change the direction. It's never too late. I turned my fork around at the age of 40 years old. I never looked back. Remember, you can't move forward while holding everything behind you. You don't have to forget your pain to stop living in it. Something needs to be remembered without being relieved. Your life forward deserves more attention than the life behind you. Ask yourself this: what are you holding on to that is keeping you from moving forward? What are you ready to leave behind? I was 43 years old the day I stopped drinking cold turkey. I wasn't told by anyone that I needed to quit drinking. I share this personal story in my first book I wrote on Amazon. I stopped drinking because I didn't want to pass forward the addiction and the limiting beliefs that were passed down to me, to my children and grandchildren. Sometimes moving forward begins with putting something down. Ask yourself, what am I still carrying? And what am I finally ready to put down? You cannot walk freely into tomorrow while gripping tightly to yesterday. Your next chapter needs room to breathe. When you let go of something that doesn't serve you anymore, you create more space and energy to fill in the space. I will never forget the moment my daughter came to me and asked me if she can quit taking ballerina dance lessons. The very first thing I said was, "Okay, that's fine." Then I asked her, "Why? Why don't you like it?" She said, "Dad, it's boring to me." From that day forward, she became an Irish dancer. My wife at the time was Irish, and my daughter followed into my footsteps I used to be a ballroom dancer. I used to take ballroom dancing. That's why it's very important to remember the things you always wanted to do as a child. The moment you drain out the past is the moment other opportunities come towards us. Your thoughts change before your life changes. New priorities become clearer to you. The obligations from the past start to disappear, and your new intentions start to develop. When you stop allowing other people's expectation control your life, is when you become aligned with your purpose and calling in life. When you release the extra weight on your shoulders, is when your jeans become drier to walk in. Release the weight, and you may discover how strong you really are. You become more willing to take healthier risks. Your creativity can become stronger, clearer, and your energy level will increase. What will follow is happiness, belonging, and fulfillment. You can't start your next chapter in life if you don't complete the last one. You begin making decisions based on who you're becoming rather than who you used to be. Your past becomes wisdom instead of the wet, heavy jeans. Sometimes you have to let go what you don't want to carry anymore so you can finally pick up what you were meant to carry in life. Thank you for spending time with me today. If this episode encouraged you, challenged you, or gave you a new perspective, please share it with someone who might need it. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss any episodes of the MANNA Method. You can also visit us at www.themannamethod.org for books or speaking engagements. Until next time, remember, one decision can change a direction, one step can change a life, and sometimes all it takes is to just turn your fork. I'm Franco. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.